What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE WrestleMania 36 Night 1 review. The show from April 4th, 2020. During the time, whatever this WrestleMania was taped around of March 25th to March 26th of 2020, and they're in Orlando, Florida, in the WWE Performance Center due to the whole coronavirus situation. You know, they had to, call an audible in a way, or Vince McMahon, and just to get WrestleMania out of the way and everything. In my opinion, and I'm going to talk more about this, moving forward, what we to do these, WrestleMania reviews, because I'm going to be giving you not one, not two, but three WrestleMania reviews, just like I did what pertains to Wrestle Kingdom 14, which was this past January. So you'll hear me more about talking about this whole situation where I think WWE should just postpone it, because you need an audience. And during this time, there was no audience because of the whole coronavirus situation with the whole outbreak, the whole lockdown situation that the world that we're going through right now. But the tagline for WrestleMania, for WWE's decision to get WrestleMania out of the way, is the tagline is too big for just one night, or during this case, as the build-up was doing so poorly for some of it, for the matches in a way, is too stupid just for one night. Shout out to Thomas for that, by the way. But besides that, I think did they do a great job on the show despite having no fans and everything to a tape WrestleMania. I don't, if I recall, I don't think there was ever a tape WrestleMania for the past 3 to 5 years. Not from my knowledge. Of my knowledge, I always seen it. Pertains to I look at it and I believe it was live during those times. Obviously, from the 90s and into the 2000s and the 2010s and now to the 2020s now. As of right now, enter a new decade, a new era of the 2020s and everything. That's not the case at all. So I think this is the first ever WrestleMania since being taped. But don't quote me on that. I digress. But basically, it's the brands will feature Raw, SmackDown, represents NXT. That'll be on night 2 under the promotion of WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. And another vignette, I guess you could say, at the Boneyard. I'll get to that later, by the way. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give you, results and my thoughts of it, and then I'll give you the full review on the third review of WrestleMania. But basically putting it all together, because I just want to get through this, and that's all I want to do, just get through this. So we got the host of WrestleMania, Robert Gronkowski, or should I say the host of WrestleMania 36, which again, Robert Gronkowski, who just signed with WWE this past February or March. I don't care. I really don't care about Robert Gronkowski. And Mojarelli. So Mojarelli is no longer being a heel. He's now back to being the hype bro in a way. The hype machine, the hype. Mr. Hype Man, whatever. The whole thing where he's all, I don't get hype, I stay hype. I'm getting on the bro train, something like that. The hype train or whatever it was, and then he goes choo choo Playboy and blah blah blah. The whole Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Be positive and everything. Never give up attitude in the way, which is better never give up attitude than John Cena. Just saying. But yeah, basically it's that mojo right back. With him being all hype, telling you I don't get hype, I stay hype. Choo choo Playboy. I'll never forget that, by the way. But we cut that promo, which was like right when they were on the Hype Bros back on SmackDown. But anyways, the point is, Rob Gronkowski and Mojarelli, 2 former NFL football players, are the hosts of WrestleMania 36, and I thought they did a terrible job. I mean, either with crowds there or no crowds there, I didn't think they did a great job. And why would we need a host of WrestleMania anyways, in my opinion? But whatever. Michael Cole, John Bradshaw Layfield, WWE Hall of Famer of 2020, which the ceremony hasn't happened because it's been postponed. I believe it's gonna happen around SummerSlam if everything's back to normal. But yeah, Michael Cole and John Bradshaw Layfield for SmackDown commentators, I thought it was good. You know, and they had your Raw commentators, Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton. No Jordan King Lawler. Maybe it's because he's one of those old seniors. I almost say he's a senior, but don't remember how old he is really. But Jerry Lawler, I'm pretty sure that's they probably just told him to go home and just be himself quarantined for this whole coronavirus situation. So that's my guess. But hey, Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton, they did a great job too. You have your Spanish commentators too, which you didn't see much of them anyways. You have your ring announcers and Greg Hamilton from SmackDown and Mike Rome from Raw. You have your referees involved. I'm not gonna name all of them, but you had your interviews like Charlie Caruso. She did a great job. Also Kayla Braxton also did a great job. You had your pre-show panel. It was Corey Graves and Peter Rosenberg. Fuck both of them. Just saying. It's just my feelings on them. And then you had your pre-show corner sponsors, which it was Renee Young, Booker T, and Mark Henry. They were also doing the backstage stuffs too. For the during this whole dilemma, this whole circumstances that we're going with right now in the world. The stage, obviously, they didn't decorate the stage. I don't know if it's a policy that they can't do that. Another policy is that they can't have fireworks. All they can have is smoke. But the stage itself, it reminds me of, basically, look at it this way. When it pertains to going to a WrestleMania, they're always going to have a WrestleMania sign for an entrance. Back in the old days, like from the 80s, and even a little bit in the 90s, where, it's basically like that type of WrestleMania stage. And it was, it pertains to that type of style of WrestleMania stage combined to this era of how the stage should look. It pertains to a stage needs to have more of a theme, atmosphere, and all that. I thought it was all right. I thought it was better. Yeah, I thought if anything, I would say it's a better upgrade. But unfortunately, with the whole coronavirus situation, they was going to deck out this whole pirate theme for WrestleMania 36. They was going to go all out with it. With Kairi Sane doing a pirate entrance, and she did in a way, but while a pirate ship. Because Kairi Sane is the pirate princess. But unfortunately, they couldn't do it. Unfortunately, which is a damn shame. But what can you do? You can't something like this that's going on in the world. You gotta work with your work. You gotta work through it in a way. But I gotta say this before I get to the main show itself. The pre-show, it's obviously the show recaps about what it's gonna lead to for WrestleMania 36, where it pertains to night 1 and night 2, and we get to a match. We get one match on the pre-show. Was it, to me, in my opinion, was it needed? No, but they feel like they do it anyways. So they did it. It was Cesaro versus Drew Gulak. Match itself was good. The problem is, it was only 4 minutes and 25 seconds. They could have went a little longer, but they didn't do it, unfortunately. And in the end of the match, Cesaro, he goes for the airplane spin, and then he lets go of Drew Gulak while he's got Drew Gulak still on top of his shoulders as he's continuing to spin. That move has not been seen since the Indies that Cesaro used when he was Claudio Castagnoli. When when you see someone on a criminal move like that's what Cesaro does with his core body strength is amazing, and he never did that in WWE. But it's unfortunate, it pisses me off too, because here you have Cesaro, who's a great wrestler and who worked so hard to be something in WWE, but they never give him the satisfaction, or and never give us what we want with Santos Cesaro, giving him that push that they should give him to him a long time ago because he deserves it. And we want to see him do a lot of moves. Like we obviously see him do the giant swing, what they call it the Cesaro swing, where he could do it so many times. In the Indies, he did 100 times in the Indies. Where Billy Lee and Bryan Danielson at the time there. I can't remember Rose was in the match too, but I remember seeing that, and I'm like, that was amazing. And then why couldn't have Cesaro do that? He came close to Cesaro doing that, but it depends who he's got to do it to. Because there's limits of it. So Cesaro, unfortunately, doing the move called the UFO on the pre-show with no crowds. And on top of that, no surprise there that Michael Cole on commentary did not even know what's the actual move of it. He calls it the airplane spin. So of course he doesn't know Cesaro's move set from the Indies that it was that move that on the Cesaro pulls out. It's rare they post it out, but in WWE we're never going to see that be pulled out. But then he did it here. So I thought, so it's no surprise there that they don't know what that move is. But I'm in a way I'm happy that Cesaro. Either way, I'm happy that it has Cesaro do that move. I just wondering if they was going to let him do that move, if there was crowds there, to make it mean something. But I digress. But Cesaro got the win, and there you go. Then we get to the opening WrestleMania of night one. They did a video montage of the national anthem of past national anthem singers like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, excuse me, Willie Nelson. I think they show Boys to Men. I can't remember if they did or not, but they show Michelle Williams, Aloe Black. Can't remember who else they showed too. But the point is, they were showing a montage of that. Just because obviously we can't have a celebrity be part of WrestleMania to sing the national anthem for this year because the whole coronavirus situation. So I thought the way they did it was great. I thought that was a great job they did from there. And then we get to the opening introduction for WrestleMania 36 with the video package of these these wrestlers in WWE, just like pirates and everything. And the way they did it too, with some director from the background is saying cut and everything, and I thought that was stupid. I didn't like it. And we had someone sound like Johnny Depp to sound like Captain Jack Sparrow. So people say it was Johnny Depp, but I don't think it was. But if he was, I'm glad they gave him a call to do that. But at the same time, I don't think it was him. I think it was just someone who basically sounds like him, because anyone could sound like Captain Jack Sparrow. Like for example, I'm forgetting one important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. And what's the other lines he always says? No, you need to find this. How else can I say? No, I didn't know where the key was, but now we know where the key is. And I'm trying to remember how he said it too, of his lines of Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh yeah, let's say the three doubloons that we forget the name. The point is, anyone could can sound like Captain Jack Sparrow, retains to Johnny Depp, and I don't think that was, but then again, maybe he was, maybe who knows. But the point is, it threw me off a little bit. I was not enjoying the video package because it's WWE trying to do the whole comedy thing with this whole thing, and I thought it was a fail because WWE every time they always swing with their attempts at comedy, they always miss. So I thought that was stupid. But the video presentation of it, I thought was cool. And then they added AC/DC. For those about to rock, we salute you as the theme song to upload the show. I thought that was great. And I love the part that they had New Day. They did not have New Day doing their twerking things. So, unlike what they did with AC/DC's Ready for a Good Time for SmackDown, that's a different story. For WrestleMania, for those about to rock, we salute you. I'm glad that they have New Day to their stick. So, props to that. Okay, now for the main show, or the matches basically. We got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Some people may say a moment to Bliss. or I mean, a moment of bliss as their tag team name, or some people will make fun of it by saying a moment to piss. In this case, it was a moment with bliss, with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. There was not a moment to piss because at least they got this match to start the show, and they go up against Asuka and the Pirate Princess Kairi Sane, coming out well, with a pirate outfit and everything, as the Kabuki Warriors, who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Match lasted 15 minutes and 5 seconds. I thought the match was good, and in the end, it was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross winning the match and becoming the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions for the second time. And yeah, I was okay with the finish. I was okay with the winners because I believe Kairi Sane is leaving WWE. And if she does leave WWE, along with Io Shirai, because I'm hearing that she wants to leave too, take Asuka with you. Get away from WWE and never go back to WWE ever again, because WWE clearly doesn't know how to use, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Shirai. And when they leave, Kairi Sane could go back to being Kairi Hojo. Io Shirai could be going back to being Io Shirai, and Asuka can go back to being called Kana. So there you go. But I also came to the finish, and I thought the match was good. Then we get to Elias versus King Corbin. So it was during the pre-show. I didn't see that part with Baron Corbin on the pre-show. King Corbin, whatever I'm calling him, where he was singing, had a harmonica, whatever. And basically says that Elias not going to be there because what happened to him on SmackDown. Whatever. So he comes out there and he says that Elias is not going to make it. And the referee says, King Corbin said to the referee, Warren as the winner. Also, we hear the tune, and Elias comes out. Elias confronts King Corbin. He hits him with the with the guitar outside the ring, by the way. And then match began in the ring. And match lasted 9 minutes, and I didn't care about the match whatsoever. Elias wins. So much for King Corbin for getting that big push at the being Kurt Angle and retiring Kurt Angle last year at WrestleMania, only for him, to have, to become the King of the Ring of 2019 and went nowhere with that, and then having the worst feud with Roman Reigns with dog food and dog reference. Coming to 2020, he goes into WrestleMania and he wrestles Elias and he loses. Now, credit here, Corbin tried to cheat to win, so Elias cheated to beat Baron Corbin, to basically to win up on him and everything. My opinion, why didn't they even have to have a match at WrestleMania in the first place? After Elias has been buried by John Cena in 2 appearances of WrestleMania for the last 2 years. This is the payoff that we get for Elias. He beats King Corbin. Then we get to a match that pisses me off at the conclusion of the end of the match. So we get to an early match, by the way, for the WWE Raw Women's Championship that lasted 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And first of all, we see Becky Lynch making her entrance, riding a custom-made man some kind of truck in a way, with her art paint, a portrait of her of Becky Lynch on there and everything. I thought it was cool, but then I saw the man thing. I like, well, forget it. I'm not gonna support that. I don't support the man of Becky Lynch. I'm not gonna support that shit. Doesn't mean I hate Becky Lynch. I love Becky Lynch, but the whole man stick, the whole man thing that she's doing is stupid. Can it just die already? And make matters worse, I saw the segment with her doing the whole thing with Jerry King Lawler, which her looking like a fool, basically trying to be like Conor McGregor, and then calls up the King. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, yeah. So I thought it was cool looking the truck that the Becky Lynch came in with, with her do her entrance, from outside of the performance center. But after seeing the whole thing with it said the man, I was like, forget it. I'm not praising that. Fuck that. So that again for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch, the champion, versus Shayna Baszler, the challenger, who won at Elimination Chamber after squashing every single Raw Women rosters in that Elimination Chamber match, from Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Liv Morgan, and Asuka. And again, match lasted 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Match itself, I thought was good. The way they started off, the way at each other, I thought it was good. They fought in the ring, they fought out of the ring. I thought it was a good match. Becky Lynch was being destroyed by Shayna Baszler. To me, this was the way I compare this match, the way this was booked, especially with what happened with the finish too. It was booked like how it was booked from Survivor Series of 1996 between Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, where Becky Lynch is Bret Hart and Shayna Baszler is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'll get to why. Am I saying what Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler did was better than what Austin and Bret did? No, of course not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving my thoughts about it. So like I said, I was enjoying the match. I thought the match was good until the end of the match. So basically, at the end of the day, Shayna Baszler must win. You brought her up to NXT, to the main roster. The least you can do is to have her go over. End the reign of terror of the man, Becky Lynch, of her Women's title reign. So Becky Lynch is in the Caracula clutch by Shayna Baszler. Also, Becky Lynch, falls back with Shayna Baszler. Also, she does the Bret Hart pin, like how Bret Hart did to Stone Cold back in Survivor Series of '96, and also with Bret Hart doing it to Roddy Piper from WrestleMania of which WrestleMania that was. I think it was WrestleMania 8. Yes, WrestleMania 8. And it was at Caesar's Palace. If I recall, I think it was Caesar's Palace. No, actually, WrestleMania 9 was Caesar's Palace. So yeah, except for one thing, Becky Lynch then then go to the turnbuckle and do the whole pinning on Shayna Baszler for that. And when Becky Lynch got her on the pin, she won. 1, 2, 3. What happened after that? Nothing. Shayna Baszler then go after Becky Lynch. She will willingly accept defeat and just walk to the back. She looked at disappointed. She looked at like a failure, and she left. And Becky Lynch standing tall, celebrating. You mean to fucking tell me, after what Triple H did for Shayna Baszler on NXT, building her up as a badass, an old school women's wrestler badass, of what she does in the ring, being a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, the first ever 2-time Women's Champion on NXT. Her second reign ended up being the longest reign on championship title next to Asuka. You have her go to a Royal Rumble, and it was it wasn't bad enough that you have her lose on that Royal Rumble match too, where her entry as number 30, by having her get eliminated by Charlotte Flair, only for her to make her debut on Raw, to attack Becky Lynch, and biting her in the back of the neck and everything, and then build her up, leading up to who's going to become the number one contender against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, at the Elimination Chamber match, by having her go into the Elimination Chamber to dominate every women's that were in that chamber match, make her look strong, leading up to a point at WrestleMania, and Shayna Baszler doesn't get the job done. What a stupid fucking finish. What a stupid fucking decision. Because Vince McMahon was not a fan of Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane based on how they booked that match on Raw. And that was the go-home show leading up to Elimination Chamber, where Vince McMahon could just easily just had Shayna Baszler just lose the Elimination Chamber match. You could have went with someone else. You could have went with Liv Morgan. At least you were doing a story with Liv Morgan was something. At least Liv Morgan was having some fire and passion that she wanted to, she was saying it was her time and everything. You could have given it to her. At least it would be something new. I mean, Shayna Baszler is new too, but still. But it's something that the fans wanted to see too. Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch. And because this man is not a fan of Shayna Baszler's work, which doesn't make any sense because this man is all about old school, right? Shayna Baszler is old school, and you're telling me for this man being stuck in the old days of the 80s or 70s or 90s in a way. You tell me that this man is not a fan of this Shayna Baszler who's old school with her craft of old school. And what you did here with Shayna Baszler, you built her up to come to the main roster, and you buried her. For me, that's strike one to the WWE for what they did here. Why even call her up? Why even call her up? If you knew you was going to give her the belt, why do all this build-up of Shayna Baszler being dominant just for her to go to WrestleMania and fucking lose? This is why nobody can't get over on the main roster, and this is why people will never come back to watching this product ever again. You already lost me. We're just watching you weekly on Raw and SmackDown shows. I'm done with those shows. Fuck those shows. You already lost me from there. Or what you did with Nakamura, Cesaro, Ziggler, Ryback, a few others. I'm not gonna waste any time on here. Basically, to all the Shayna Baszler fans, this man just give us the fuck you middle finger to us and say, no, we're not going with Shayna Baszler. We're going to stick with Becky Lynch because they want to build up Becky Lynch versus the returning of Ronda Rousey somewhere in the near future when we get back to normal. Shayna Baszler was the better alternative than Ronda Rousey. Because at least Ronda Rousey, I mean not Ronda Rousey, at least Shayna Baszler, she looked serious. I could take her seriously. She takes this stuff seriously. I will go with her over Ronda Rousey based on how she handled her situation with how saying basically breaking kayfabe and not taking it seriously. I believe Shayna Baszler being a more serious female wrestler than I'll ever see Ronda Rousey being a serious female wrestler. And there's no disrespect to Ronda Rousey, because I love Ronda Rousey. But I have not been a fan of her work in WWE ever since what she did last year. And on top of that, what happened at Survivor Series afterwards. We get Sami Zayn being accompanied by Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura can't have a match, but we'll have him be up here there. But Sami Zayn defends the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Daniel Bryan, being accompanied by Drew Gulak. Match lasted 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, here's the thing. I wish it went longer if we didn't have Elias and King Corbin on the show, which I thought that was a waste of a card to begin with. Hell, I thought, that should have been on the pre-show. What the fuck is Elias and King Corbin has done to earn a spot on WrestleMania? But as far as this match was booked terrible. Because Sami Zayn playing a cowardly heel, acting like he's never wrestled before. That's the type of Sami Zayn that was booked on the show there, and 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 I wasn't a fan of that. This is the first time I never thought I would ever say this. This is the first time that I thought this was one of the worst match I ever seen that Sami Zayn and Dan Bryan ever did. The booking of the match sucked. The booking of the ones that were not in the match, the way that was done sucked. And I tuned out of it. At the end of the day, it was Sami Zayn getting the win over Daniel Bryan. Then we get to the triple threat ladder match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. That's at 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Originally, it was supposed to be The Miz with John Morrison as the WWE Tag Team, as the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions versus the Usos of Jimmy and Jay versus the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Big E. But unfortunately, due to what happened with The Miz, which I'll talk more about that when I do the review of WrestleMania, the full of it. But due to The Miz, of his situation, unfortunately, John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston has to represent their own teams in the Super Ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Titles. And the match itself, I thought it was good. John Morrison, who I called Johnny B. Trash in the past, I thought he had the best performance on this match. Everything that he did, I thought he did great. Obviously, Jimmy Uso did great too, especially Kofi Kingston. I wasn't a fan of Kofi Kingston with his dreadlock, rainbow color hair. You gotta end this New Day crap already, man. It's run its course already. But the match was great, and I loved on the finish of the match where John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston were fighting for the chapter titles. All of a sudden, Jimmy and Kofi headbutts Morrison while Morrison holds on both belts, and he falls down on top of the bridge of the ladder bridge. And I was scared sight there too, because I thought that John Morrison may have an Edge incident back in 2002, where Edge did that spot too during his match against Eddie Guerrero. Except Edge didn't fall off a ladder to have his neck damage. And John Morrison, by looks of it, he was all right. Thank God. So basically, that was a great creative finish there. John Morrison grabbed both belts as he falls down, and he won. At the end of the day, he touched the belts, so he won. So yeah, I thought the match was good, and the finish was good. Then we get to Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Match lasted 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, on paper, when we first started, it was about, I guess, 10 minutes because it was a regular match at first. Match itself, I thought at first when it was first a regular match, it was good. And also, Seth Rollins got disqualified by hitting Kevin Owens with the bell. I mean, the bell, the ring bell. And Kevin Owens gets on the mic and says, no, we're not going to end it this way. Let's finish this in no disqualification. So Seth Rollins agreed. The Monday Night Messiah, by the way. And match ends up being had more minutes in there. And again, it was and then at this point, like I said, it was 17 minutes and 20 seconds. And just the big spot, the big moment of it was Kevin Owens jumping off of a WrestleMania sign onto Seth Rollins through the broadcast table was a cool spot. Basically, paying homage to Shane McMahon, the leap of faith elbow, off of a stage onto his opponent. I thought that was great. That was a cool spot. Then Seth Rollins was put back in the ring by Kevin Owens because there's no disqualification. As in the ring, he goes for the KO stunner and gets the 3 count in the win, and your winner. And had this WrestleMania moment, Kevin Owens, even though he already has WrestleMania moment against Chris Jericho, which they didn't want to acknowledge that because Chris Jericho was in AEW. Yeah, so stupid. I know. Basically, they're treating Chris Jericho like Chris Benoit now. They're Chris Benoiting Chris Jericho. But anyways, but yeah, match itself was good. I thought it was good. Then we get to a match that I thought was trash because you know it was, and based on how short it was too. The WWE Universal Championship, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Unfortunately, Roman Reigns couldn't be in it due to his circumstance. I'll get to more of that when I do the third review, the third full review of WrestleMania 36. But it was, Roman Reigns' replacement was Braun Strowman. I would rather see Sheamus, or at least Shinsuke Nakamura in that position than Braun Strowman, based on what Braun Strowman said. You know, retains to taking shots at the Indies. Yeah, at this point, I was already done with Braun Strowman after the whole thing with him dancing with New Day. But after what he retains to entertainment value on TV, but retains to the person himself. His real name Adam something. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him for taking shots at at independent independent wrestling. That fucking asshole, fucking prick. That fucking tone deaf motherfucker. He ain't no monster among men. He's been tamed. He's been pussified. But it was Braun Strowman versus Goldberg. Now we can't have Goldberg regular pyro because they can't do that in the performance center as a policy. So they did a smoke instead for him. So you're telling me after what you did with Goldberg, beating the Fiend, Bray Wyatt at Saudi Arabia, Super Showdown, to get the belt to Goldberg, just because. Well, actually, I'll talk more. I'll give my full details of that one from the third review. In fact, I'll make it short. You tell me you had Goldberg beat the Fiend Bray Wyatt just for him to go to WrestleMania to try to pull Roman Reigns because you're afraid that the fans were going to boo Roman Reigns, and your idea was for the fans to boo Goldberg because we love the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Only for Roman Reigns to not not participate in at the state of where we're at that we're in right now with the whole coronavirus thing, because of the Miz too, which the Miz didn't get coronavirus, but again I'll get to more of that when I do the review. Just to have Braun Strowman to be the replacement for Roman Reigns. That's your best alternative. Braun Strowman, and then make matters worse, Braun Strowman, after failing of becoming the Universal Champion, not once, not twice, not 3 times, I believe what? 4 times maybe? Hell, it might have been 5 times. Who knows? I lost count. I lost count how many times Nakamura lost the WWE Championship title match. It was about what, 7 to 8? And then he finally gets a win on Goldberg. I would rather you get the belt on Goldberg at this point. Despite me how I feel about Goldberg right now, looking back at his career and everything, I would rather have Goldberg retain his title here than to give it to Braun Strowman. After everything you did with the Fiend Bray Wyatt, having been buried by Goldberg at Saudi Arabia, leading up to Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, the whole spear versus spear, and it ends up not happening because Roman Reigns decided to pull out, because it was his decision to do it, because the whole thing would happen with the Miz, and then your best alternative was Braun Strowman, and you decided to just to go all the way with Braun Strowman, despite what he said. with him getting all these all this this heat. Main event time. Well, yeah, thank God that wasn't the main event, because that would have been a disaster on the first night. Because the main event was the Boneyard match. That's a 35 minutes. You have the Undertaker looking like Big Evil with his bandana. He came in with his motorcycle. They were at a graveyard, by the way, but they're not calling it a graveyard or a cemetery. They're basically calling it a boneyard, because I guess the term graveyard is not going to be used. I guess it's one of the banned words of Vince McMahon. Against AJ Styles, the build up, I wasn't a fan of the build up, where it tends to the story behind it. But they cut good promos though. But yeah, the Boneyard match, by the way this was done, it was a masterpiece. So in a way, WWE should be thanking Matt Hardy. Where it tends to Matt Hardy doing the whole broken stuff back in the days of TNA, and then doing it in WWE, the Ultimate Deletion, with Bray Wyatt. In a way, WWE should be thanking Matt Hardy for this. And obviously, Jeremy Borash was involved in that too. And Jeremy Borash, what I heard, he was involved in other everything that happened on this point, the Boneyard. Obviously it was taped. And I thought it was great. I thought the match itself was great. The acting wasn't that great, but I enjoyed it. I thought this was the best thing they did. We're having a WrestleMania. I thought they did a great job here. But I'm not gonna be one of those people that's gonna be going on Twitter and Facebook, Instagram saying, "Oh my God, this was great," and blah blah blah. Basically overrating it, like crazy overrating it, like they've been doing it with Rousey versus Charlotte. Can't remember what matches they kept overrating. But yeah, I get my point though. But yeah, I thought this the way it was done, it was great. Now obviously the winner, the way to win, you got to bury your opponent alive. It was basically a bury alive match. That's what it was. AJ Styles was getting his ass kicked in this match, by the way. Undertaker was doing a lot of trash talking. AJ Styles did get some offense, and then we get the OC getting involved, and then we get the Druids, going after the Undertaker, led by the OC. Undertaker fought them off. Styles trying to bury Undertaker, but the Undertaker uses mystical powers to get back AJ Styles. He beats up on Styles. They go on top of some type of roof thing, whatever. Gallows and Anderson follows along. Undertaker beats both of them up. He throws Gallows off, and he tombstones Anderson on the roof there. And then he chokestands AJ Styles off onto the wooden boards and like that. Undertaker goes after him, and then he picks him up, and then AJ Styles is like, "Please, no, don't bury me, don't bury me." And Undertaker was like, "You put a hell good fight, man," and everything. And he hugs him, and then gives him a big boot into the graveyard. And Undertaker goes to one of those construction things that brings up dirt. I forgot what it's called, but Undertaker buries AJ Styles, while AJ Styles was a weird fake hand with his gloves on sticking out. That was so stupid. But in the end, the Undertaker won the match. Did anyone thought that AJ Styles was going to win? This is what Sami Callihan was talking about, where it tends to legends coming in and burying hardworking young talents that are there every time, every week. WWE will never learn their lesson from there, but it's whatever. AJ Styles was a main guy though, so in WWE in the way, so yeah, Undertaker won, and then Undertaker gets on a motorcycle. He goes to leave, but before he does this. Also, Pyros goes off, and then the symbol Undertaker goes on. I thought that was cool, and then he rides away. All right, he came in with a Metallica song. I forgot what it's called though. Excuse me. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to find the song that it was. I can't remember the song now. But that's how Enter came in though. With Metallica's a song from Metallica. Maybe if I see the let me see if I can see the title of the song, I can remember. Hmm. I can't remember if it was the memory remains like that. Can't remember now. Can't remember. But I'm gonna go back to that one when I do the third review for the full review of WrestleMania 36. So I'll remember. I remember. But when I look back at it. But I thought it was cool though. It was pretty cool that Undertaker came in with Metallica when he first came in, and then he left with the Metallica theme music, and that was it. That was the end of the show of WrestleMania 36 of night one. I thought they did a great job with the tapings, with the editing. I thought they did a great job with the Boneyard match. I thought they did despite how it was, I thought they did a great job. But at the same time, they should have postponed it. But this man was so stubborn um and selfish. He wanted to get it out of the way first. You should have postponed it. Maybe you could have crowds there. But I digress. But yeah, as far as what they did on night one, not bad, not bad. I actually enjoyed night one. I wasn't bored. I feel like it was a terrible show. Night one, I thought it was an Orange Cassidy. I thought it was an Orange Cassidy slight thumbs up. Just saying. Um, and now we're looking forward to now is night two for WrestleMania 36. But before I go, um, first of all, let's get to my highlights for WrestleMania 36 night one. Swerve of the night, Braun Strowman wins the Universal title. Shock of the night, Becky Lynch pins Shayna Baszler to retain. You had no idea, folks, how shocked I was when I saw that. Video promo of the night, Raw Women's Championship. Moment of the night, John Morrison retains and gets his WrestleMania moment. After returning to WWE for so long. So, because I can't remember if John Morrison ever had a WrestleMania moment. So I'm glad he did. Despite me how I feel about him, during the time in TNA, Impact Wrestling. Yeah. Entrance of the night, Kabuki Warriors. Mainly Kairi Sane with the whole power thing. Move of the night, the Diamond Elbow off the WrestleMania sign by Kevin Owens. Finish of the night, Kevin Owens Stunner. Performance of the night, John Morrison. For once, he wasn't trying to be trash. Show stealer of the night, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. I thought that was a show stealer. Brutal match of the night, SmackDown Tag Titles match, which in a good way. Creative match of the night, the Boneyard match. Basically, the Boneyard match was like, it's like seeing what you see in the movies or The Walking Dead. That's a good comparison there. And finally, match of the night, the Raw Women's Championship, despite the finish, and who won. So my overall rating for the show from since to night one of WWE WrestleMania 36, the show from April 4th, 2020, I'm going to go with 8 out of 10. Slight thumbs up. But yeah, 8 out of 10. I thought it deserved that. So, with that being said, thank you for watching. Tune in for WWE WrestleMania 36 Night 2 review on the next day for Is Natural Born Thriller saying peace on the streets. So, you all stay well, stay safe, stay protected with this whole coronavirus situation. Hopefully everything will go back to normal in a couple months. Stay in peace. Ta-ta for now. Take care. I'm out.